Hi, I'm Arvind Pawar from Best to Credit. I head product management. Delighted to share that we are launching our Tech Tuesdays series of conversations at Best to Credit. I'm here talking to Vineet Tyagi, our CTO at Best to Credit, to understand what's happening on the financial industry in general and how the fintech industry is shaping up and technology trends that are getting along the way in the financial technology industry as such.
Welcome. Thank you, Arvind.
The first question that I have is what's your take when it comes to technology that is shaping up in the financial world, and what would be the focus areas that the audiences watching this series should look forward to in 2020?
It's a great question. I think the biggest revolution that we're looking at, everybody's been talking about it for a while now. That's going to hit us more increasingly. So we have been preparing for it. Is going to be open banking. And what do we mean by open banking? So my take on that is open banking is a new paradigm where, from a banking institution perspective, which has always been inside out, taking an inside out perspective, controlling their customers' data for their own use. I think the transformation open banking as a paradigm will bring is the fact that financial information pertaining to a customer would be openly available and shareable electronically, securely, and also with customer consent with third parties whose the customer is consenting to provide the information to, such that this financial information can be used by that third party to better the customer experience in some shape or form. So that in for the last few years we've been hearing how open banking regulatorily and through other mechanisms governments are trying to bring those kind of changes and support those changes. I think for banks and financial technology, fintech in general, open banking is going to be one big area that is going to be the focus for 2020, and that should be their focus as well. From a technology perspective, open banking requires that there has to be a platform approach that allows for financial data to be openly. When we say electronically and openly, it means definitely APIs. There has to be an API access to customer data that allows that customer data to be securely and in almost real time shared with third parties. You definitely need to have a platform for open banking. Without a platform, that kind of banking architecture will not exist. And platform is going to play a big role in shaping how well open banking is implemented in a bank, because that's how we will be able to enable open sharing, secure sharing, and enable the consent architecture that will allow customers the security that their information is only being shared with third parties who they have agreed to.
Excellent. You mentioned about open banking, Vineet. That is in an enabled platform approach, so to say. Can you tell us more in terms of what roles does an open banking platform will actually play in this fintech industry in general?
Yeah, I think that's going to be critical. I think open banking in general, you can't have any open bank without a platform approach. And really, if you look at what a platform is and what it enables, or what is the shape of that, a platform is a construct, is a business model that allows a marketplace to exist. It allows third parties to access information, and it allows a secure exchange of value and information between the consumers and the providers.
Okay.
Right? Now, the bank has to transform themselves fully from being an inside out to an outside in
Uh-huh.
architecture,
Uh-huh.
and platform will have to play a major role. There have to be the APIs that allow customer data to flow in and out
Mm.
securely.
Uh-huh.
There have to be an open platform that records the consent. So the consent architecture has to be built in into the platform. Or if there are regulatory consent architectures, like in India, there is a consent architecture that RBI has put out there, uh, which is called the account aggregator and the consent architecture associated with that. How do you integrate in these APIs into the platform? How do you use them? So that's going to be a critical construct, and that's how platforms will enable. The other aspect of why platform is important is there has to be a certain elasticity in the nature of the platform. At some point in time there may be a high traffic, at some point in time there may be a low traffic, so certain elasticity has to be built into the platform. You cannot do that without a platform. So, a platform is necessarily needed by any financial institution that's thinking about any business model that's associated with open banking.
Great, great. 2020 is around the corner, and from your perspective or from your views and thoughts, what do you think will be the top three tech trends in 2020 that the audiences should look forward to, and how they can go about adapting to those trends that will come up?
Yeah. Um, I simplify it. I would say if I were to look at the technology trends, I would look at the top three. So the top three trends for me would be in no order of preference, would be artificial intelligence or learning driven models. Second, there would be cloud architectures, and thirdly, there would be blockchain. When I talk about artificial intelligence or machine learning models, I think the key in the banking, and the key that this technology evolution has to hold, is the fact that AI can literally transform each and every area of customer experience. Now, when I say customer experience, I'm not talking just about the user experience part of it. I'm talking about the overall experience that the customer has as a various touch points with the financial institution. Whether it's the UI that you use, how do you use your mobile app, how do you use the bank services on the website. Beyond that, when you have a touch point through a voice call, or when you're talking about digital banking and open banking, you don't have branches. How would you replicate certain other touch points that exist in the traditional world, and how would you use AI to better that customer experience? I think the AI will play an all-pervasive role. It's a technology that can be used, through voice chatbots to handle customer interaction. It can be in terms of recommendation engine, where it will allow recommendation of better financial services and products for the customer, um, and understanding of the customer need as well. Or whether it is around understanding of the customer's financial need or the financial standing, in order to offer personalized financial products to the customer. So that's a very broad area. I think we will see in 2020 a very large amount of focus on AI, machine learning being applied to the various areas of customer experience. Secondly, I think in the cloud architecture, we would see cloud is pretty pervasive now. A lot of banking industry or BFSI in general have started using cloud architectures. uh, I think what we now will see is the fact that as open banking comes in, there will be a multitude of third party and platforms that will participate in fulfilling the need of a customer. So the evolution of a multi-cloud architecture, or a hybrid cloud architecture, or a distributed cloud architecture is going to be one area I think is going to be big in 2020 and beyond, from a technology perspective, to be addressed. And then blockchain. I think blockchain we've been talking about for a while, and as you know, for the last 4 years, the cryptocurrency, rush has driven a mad kind of a feeling that we will all literally transform towards using a world where blockchain is the only technology. It's not happened like that, but I do think that in an open banking world, in a platform world, as I explained it, because there is a large amount of parties, third parties contributing towards creating a financial package for the customer. Blockchain will continue to play a very large role to manage the contracts, to manage the single source of truth, to deal with the customer. So these are my top three for 2020, and not just 2020, but 2020 and beyond.
Thank you, Vineet.